For this video we are looking at how images are formed by the refraction of light with concave and diverging lenses. And before we begin, you might just want to head off to the website and download these notes where you can practice along as we do the video in terms of drawing the different rays of light passing through the lens and forming images. First thing to go through again is just a couple of labels. We know this is our diverging lens. It can also be drawn like so, and that's possibly how it's going to be shown in the exam, but that's our diverging lens. And over here we have this green point here, that's our principal focus, and we have two of those. We have one on this side and one on the other side of the lens, same distance away from the lens. The way this works is that when parallel light rays hit the lens, they actually don't go together or towards each other as they did for the convex lens. They actually spread apart, they actually diverge. Now there is a point where they actually meet, but you can't see it on this diagram here. But if we were to carry on these light rays that are spreading apart, you could see that we have the two light rays, or two virtual light rays, that can join at the principal focus right there. Okay, so this is how we show the light rays behaving with our concave lens. And what we're going to do is just have a look at a couple of examples of how you might draw the image for our concave or diverging lens. Now the first thing here, we've got an object that is between the principal focus and the lens, and the way we would do this is similar to previously. Wrong line. Similar to previously, we would draw a light ray from the tip towards the lens, to the center of the lens, and then that would actually go off and spread and not actually meet at the principal focus on the other side. How do we know how much it spreads? Well, it actually spreads in line with our principal focus over here. So if we were to draw our line, and this has to be a dotted line because it's a virtual line, from our principal focus to the center of the lens there, that's our virtual line. We can actually then continue that on the other side. See if I can get that right. It's roughly about straight just there. So there's the actual real light ray. Draw our arrow in, that's our real light ray, and there's our virtual light ray meeting at the principal focus there. The second line we draw can go from the tip of the arrow straight through the center of the lens as we did previously. We haven't got any virtual lines there, and our image will actually be formed just here where the two lines meet. Okay, so it's a virtual image, so we draw it as a dotted line, and there's three ways we can describe this. The first one is to say that it's diminished. That just means it's smaller than the actual object. Let's just label the image here, and this is our object. That's our object, that's our image. It's diminished, it's virtual, and the clue to it being virtual is that it's on the same side as the object, and also it is upright, which means it's standing in the same direction as the actual object. Okay, so three ways to describe that image. Let's try one more example, and if you have downloaded and printed these out, you can draw along with me here, but again in a similar way, from the tip to the center of the lens, we then draw our virtual light ray. So join the point where it hits the lens to our principal focus, that's a virtual light ray. You can continue the, it's easy for you to do with your ruler, I would have thought, but you can continue the line on the other side, which is the real light ray. Let's just draw our arrows in, and then from the point straight through the center of the lens, and where these two light rays cross, that's where our image is. Okay, so that should be as a dotted line. Okay, so again, diminished, virtual, and upright, and this is how we draw our light rays behaving with our diverging lens, and this is how the image is formed.